Hello everyone, welcome to Texture Myth. In this session, we are going to see how to use IBM Bob to explain a fixed format, or maybe you can say the old RPG3 code, into plain English. So suppose you are working on a project and there is a need where you are supposed to convert or prepare a documentation for one old RPG3 source code. Okay, and you are not so much familiar with the RPG3 thing, and in that case you want to take help from IBM Bob. Okay, so today we will demonstrate this thing. We will see how we can create or how we can ask Bob to explain the source code which is written in fixed format RPG3 code. Okay, now to demonstrate this thing, I have already created one simple source code. It is not that much of complex source code, but in a fixed format. Okay, so we will refer this code, and what it will do, like it will simply like if I explain you the overall code, so it accepts one date and then pass it into three things: year, month and day, and display it. Okay, so suppose we want that Bob go through this source code and then explain it in a very simple and easy manner in a plain English language. Okay, now to complete this task, firstly we are supposed to write a prompt for it, right? Because it doesn't matter if you are using IBM Bob, Claude or any AI model. To make it work, you have to provide a detailed perfect prompt so that it will go through your requirement and provide the required output. Okay, so we will see each and everything, like how we can write a prompt, what all kind of information it will provide us when we convert it into a non-technical, or I would say in a simple English language, how it will convert your entire source code into document. Okay, but before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released session first, because there we have already covered so many examples for IBM Bob and they all are in sequence and sync. So it would be really great if you can work through all these sessions in a sequential manner, so that things would be much more clearer for you. Okay, and to make it easy, like I have already attached the Texture Myth digital course book in the description box. There you will find more than 3,500 plus content available in both Hindi as well as English language. So without any language barrier, you can easily consume the content, and if there is any question on it, you can simply reach out to me through comment section. Okay, all right, so let's get started. So as I mentioned, we have source code which is written in RPG fixed format. Now we will write one prompt, and that prompt will convert this entire source code, not actually the file, but it will go through the source code and provide you the explanation in a plain English language. Okay, so let me show you how you can write a detailed prompt for it. Now if you want to write a prompt, you will go to this window. Here we will write, let me expand it a bit. Okay, so now I will write here, hi Bob. Then I will explain I have an old RPG3 program written in a fixed format named as test RPG. So what is this test RPG? It is my program name. Now remember one thing, as of now IBM Bob don't have access to directly go through your IBM my sources. Okay, so what it will do, it will look your sources into desktop. That means it will look the files into your local system. So that's why I will just provide the name of the source so that it will look for that name, and if it finds the file, it will start its work. Okay, so I just clearly mentioned, hi Bob, I have an old RPG3 program written in a fixed format named as test RPG. Make sure that name is correct, test RPG. Then can you please explain what this program does in plain English? Okay, so I just clearly mentioned what I'm looking for. So can you please explain what this program does in a plain English? Also I will ask you specific question. Tell me following thing. Now what all thing I want, what each line does. Okay, so this is my first question, what each line does. Second point, what the final result will be. Okay, so I want to know what is my final result. And in third case I will ask any operation used and why. Okay, so I want mainly these three information, like what each line of the program does. Second thing, what the final result will be. So let's say if I execute this program with required parameters, so what would be the output in that case. And also I ask for all the operation used and the purpose behind it. Okay, so this is a very simple prompt I have written here and I'll provide this program, like I already mentioned the program name, and it will currently look into my desktop because it is on my local system. And once the file is found, it will start working on this task. Okay, so let's press enter here and see how it works. So when I press enter, it shows you can see now it shows I want to read this file outside of the workspace, and this is the exact file which I want Bob to read and go through. So I'll just go through and I'll just click on approve, and then it will start going through the source code, and then it will start writing the output. So you can see it is explaining each and everything in a very detailed manner, and this is exactly what we were looking for. So let's say if there is any developer who are not aware of RPG3 source code syntax, so what they can do, they can simply make use of IBM Bob. They can provide the source code with the required prompt, and once it go through the prompt, it will simply explain you everything in a very simple and layman terminology. In fact, if you want Bob to provide a very non-technical document or explanation, so you can mention that as well, but for now I just want a proper explanation in a plain language, English language. Okay, so let's see what it prepares. Okay, so it shows RPG3 program explanation, test RPG. Then it shows this is a date parsing program that takes a numeric date in YYY MMDD format and breaks it down into separate year, month and day components, then display them. That is correct, right? So it exactly performed that thing. Then after this we have line by line breakdown, because we mentioned that during the prompt that we need a line by line breakdown. So you can see for line 1 it shows star entry plist. It defines the entry parameter list for the program. This marks the beginning of the parameter definition section. Then we have second line, param date in 80 declares a parameter named date in with length 8 and 0 decimal position. Okay, now here's one thing. We all know that it is a AI, so after all there might be a chances of error as well. So always make sure that whatever it is providing you as an output, you have to verify it. Okay, otherwise it might cause this kind of issue. So yeah, that is the one thing that we need to take care, and doesn't matter like which AI model you are utilizing, this might happen with all models because it is still in the learning phase. So either we can just make a quick fix if it writes something wrong. Okay, so that is our responsibility as a human being. We are supposed to review the code, review the output that is provided by the AI model. In that way only we can make the work productive. Okay, so let's move ahead. Here you can see it shows date in div 100 date in, so div, and likewise like it provided all the information from line 1 to line 11. In fact on line 11 also it shows that we are using set on LR. Operation uses set on. So as I asked it to provide all the operations, so it is highlighting that as well. Okay, so it turns on the last record LR indicated. This signals the end of program and triggers the cleanup termination. Okay, then it shows the final output. So when you call this program with a date like this, it will extract and display the year, extract and display the month, and extract and display the day. Okay, so you can see just assume that I was a developer who don't know anything about the fixed format, and I provided this prompt and it gives me the output. So now I have idea like how to call this program. So I know that I need to provide this kind of parameter to this program, then it will perform some set of operation and provide me the output as 2026, 04 and 10. Okay, now you can see we have operation summary as well, where it clearly shows div used twice to progressively strip off the day and month by dividing by 100. So overall, like you can see, the logic is there. One more very important thing, if you think something is not correct or something is not in right way, so what you can do in that case, you can simply provide some extra information that this information is incorrect, or try to fix that, so it will work accordingly. Okay, because sometimes it causes error, it generates like it hallucinates and provide you something wrong information. So I'm not committing that it will do 100% your output in a correct way, but yeah, it will enhance your productivity for sure. Because let's say if you want to prepare a simple documentation for these 11 line, so it will take lots of your time, right? But here if you write just a detailed prompt, so it will provide you the structure at least, and it will provide most of the information correct. And then what you can do, then you can simply walk through the documentation along with the source code, and then you can make the required fix. Okay, so one very important thing, if you are using any AI model, always make sure to review your output, otherwise you might face something is wrong in the source code. Okay, so for time being, I'm just showing you how you can make a use of IBM Bob to convert or to explain the RPG3 program or fixed format program. Clear? So yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session with new topics. So thank you for watching TechSharemith.